Just seeing what it looks like on my Facebook stream now that we're streaming on Facebook too. Nice. I like the setup. Can't complain, man. Had a great week. Past 2 weeks been great, even though the market's pulled back on us. Still green pretty much every day last week. You know, something that I find challenging is, you can have a great run, but it's being consistent with it, and that's what I'm trying to do is keep the consistency going, and just kind of keep it rolling. Giving a minute for everybody to hop in here for a second. Look like futures are kind of up now, so we should be good going into next week at least. No news that's come out. Yeah, yesterday I was hoping for a QQQ to hop above 316, man. It just wouldn't do it. If it would have did that, I would have cleared 2,000 on the small account challenge. I really wanted that to happen. Sitting here looking at it, it's propping up well on the 1 hour. Looks like it'll take off going into next week, so I expect a gap up. But I definitely don't hold. I don't hold option calls over the weekend because that's a 2-day theta decay, or time decay rather. So, and I think those options were like $30 a day, if not more than that. I think it was like $70 on one of them. So I hopped out of it. I have my call on DBW. I let go of SNDL as I was hedging the markets due to the pullbacks and stuff like that going into last week. So, let's see who's let's see who's gonna hop in with us. Oh, I didn't even send it in Discord, did I? There we go. Seems like we got somebody else in here with us. Who we got? I'm about to turn this alert box thing off. It's just going through all my followers since I just turned it on, I guess, and let me know who all has followed the channel. I'm probably gonna see if I can change that little character too. But yeah, I'm not gonna have it running too much longer. We actually hit 260. I think it was 263 subscribers last night, so that's great. Appreciate the support and love. What stocks are everyone getting in? That's what we're here to look at today. That's basically what I wanted to do with this live stream, this coffee and stocks. We can do a recap on some of the stocks that we already had positions in, kind of compare performance, and then look at potential moves going into next week. So I'm gonna go ahead and kill this alert box thing, man. It's just nonstop going through all those people, but I'm just trying to give everybody some time to hop in here real quick. Started an hour early, so I don't know if that was a good or a bad thing. A lot of people expecting this to be at 10 o'clock and stuff like that, but I wanted to go ahead and do it a little bit earlier today. Yeah, so basically everybody's going to dedicate, so the small account group challenge is everybody's going to dedicate $200 within their accounts that they have. We're not putting this money in one account or anything like that. You're going to keep it in your own account. $100, the thesis is $100 goes towards, actually holding stocks. And then the other $100 is going to go towards actually buying options. What's up, Justin? How you doing, man? So we're going to split it up that way. And that way people can kind of dabble into options and how we're trading them, what we're looking for. What's up, Steve? How you doing? But we can also win off some of those equity holds, those equity stakes from there. So that's the challenge. See how well we can do. It took 2 weeks for me to get the $100 I put in my own personal challenge up to, I think it's at like 1878 or something like that. I'm gonna look at my account real quick, but you know, I really want to do it as an experience for people to learn how to optimize on options. I'm at 1873, so up 17 and a half, 17 and 3/4 X on that account. So what I'm going to do is take 200 out of that and dedicate it to the moves that we make. We're going to sit here and analyze stocks, go through the list. Everybody add any stocks they feel are great potential stocks to the coffee and stocks list. We go through the list. We check performance, check expectations. We log that information, and then we vote on the best stock to get into or the best option to call based on momentum swings, how strong the momentum swing will be, how wide the spread is on the call or the put option. It could be a call or a put. And then we'll also utilize the strategy that I was suggesting where, we use options to basically gather up free shares into some of these trades. So if we're looking at something that's strong and we see some pullback coming into it, we might be able to do a put option on it, right? And it comes back down. Once we sell it, that'll be an opportunity to actually buy the stock. We can buy the stock with the profits and then use the same amount of money we did on the put option to then place a call option. So we're basically making 3 trades on one stock in 2 different directions. And that's a strategy that I've been using in my small account challenge. And capitalizing on. A lot of my small account challenge was based on market moves and swings like that, but that still adds more profits to throw into equity stakes, actual longer term holds or longer term swing trades, like 2 to 3 months on some of these moves based on expectations, news that expected to come out and stuff like that. So it's really just a practicing platform that I'm trying to build for everybody to be a part of. And also learn in the process in real time at low risk. You know what I'm saying? So we're only putting $100 towards the stocks that we buy, and then $100 towards the options that we play with. I'm looking forward to having somebody really step up in the group to focus on the stock side, because I'm going to be heavy on the options, and that's just my thing. Momentum swings are easy. The problem is that every stock isn't going to have options. So we're going to have to find, stocks that do and stocks that don't. And those that don't, we can focus that equity $100 on those and just gather up on those gains that way. And then with the options, we can play those in and out. Good morning, Julian. And honestly, I would like to focus more so on the markets and basically giving the portfolio steroids at first. Kind of bump up that $100 to maybe $200-300 real quick. Dylan, what's up, man? Give me 1 second. But sorry. Catching up with one of our community leaders, haven't talked to. Good morning, Julian. Good morning, Jay. Good morning, Justin, Steve, Antoine. I'm not sure if you're still in here. We got started a little bit earlier. That'll give me more time to go into the morning, and also more time for the rest of the day so I can enjoy that. But I also still wanted to get with you guys. I know we didn't do our coffee and stock sessions last week. Had some family come in town and spend some time with them. Good, man. Got a little bit of rest last night, so ready to look into how this week performed for us, and then also how this upcoming week's gonna look. I'm not sure if you guys all are friends with me on Facebook, but I am going to add my my personal profile on the chat now, so you can hit me up, and I'll add you in the free chat that we have on Facebook. And what we can do is what we're currently looking at doing, as I was just saying, is a small account challenge where everybody's going to dedicate $200 to it in the group. They're going to keep it in their accounts. You don't have to give it to anybody. You control your own money. we can do is what we're currently looking at doing. And then from there, we're just going to pick stocks together as a group, and invest in them on the equity side, and then also use this as a learning platform for options. So I'm just trying to catch everybody up. Let me add my Facebook link real quick for you guys in case you guys haven't hit me up, and if you have and you're not in the chat, just shoot me a message and let me know, because I'm getting a lot of people sending me Facebook requests from the live stream and from just Facebook and the groups that I'm in and stuff. So be sure to let me know if I haven't added you yet. I apologize, but I just shot that over to y'all, so hit me up. But anyways, so I've got a few people in here. We'll go ahead and get started. I'm not going to hold you up too much longer. I was trying to give everybody some time to hop in with it, getting started a little bit later than normal. Earlier than normal on Saturdays. So I expect people to probably start piling in a little bit around 10 o'clock. But I'll let everybody know that we were doing it a little bit early. But so to look at the markets real quick, I want to focus on SPY. SPY closed, I believe, above 394 yesterday, right at 394. That's what we needed to see. Broke out of that midterm downtrend we had all been focusing on. But the thing we got to keep in mind is the 10-year Treasury yield and where it's currently trading at. So I want to pull that up as well. And so we can take a look at it. US 10-year. I'll just do that here. Anytime I open too many tabs, I start killing my processor on this iMac. Let's see. So 10-year is currently at 162. Looks like it has some slight pullback. It might gap down going into next week. That's what I'm hoping for. If it gaps down, the market's a gap up in response to it. But definitely something to pay attention to. It's kind of peaking out at this level, I guess you could say, of resistance that it's been playing against. But anytime it retests those levels, it typically breaks out and continues moving higher. So expect that to potentially either gap down. This is on the 1 hour. It's showing loss in momentum. Just from what I'm looking at, it's full steam ahead pretty much. So they had an auction and it gapped it down to about 151, but ever since it hit those levels, I think it was a little bit lower than that, like 145 or something. But ever since then, it's ran. So definitely gonna pay attention to that going into Monday. See what the futures are as in result of that gap up or gap down on the 10-year. The concern about the futures, specifically with the SPY, is the fact that we're so high in this long-term trend that we've been following. And of course, stimulus checks are coming in, so we can expect people to start dumping some money in to the markets a little bit. I'm not sure if it's going to be as bad as it was last time. But I'm really just paying attention if we're going to retest all-time highs, and if we do, I feel like a rejection is going to come in. Of course, we're seeing a momentum swing on the SPY. QQQ is another story. It has a lot of headroom up to about the 338 levels. It's currently trading at 315, so that's the NASDAQ. We can see a lot of these tech stocks prop up on us going into next week, so I'm pretty interested. It looks like the NASDAQ has hit its low. So I'm highly interested in like tech stocks, as far as any stocks we look at. A lot of those already being EVs, you guys know, and then crypto plays, because Bitcoin actually hit 60. What was it, right at 60,000 last night? I was looking. Yeah, we're topping out at 60K, so it's still a bullish run on it. We had that pullback come in after it hit 57,000. We're going back to the 48,000 levels, but since then it's propped up. So I'm not sure if we want to take that $100 on the equity share and split it into two different stocks and then buy shares like that, or if we want to do like 3 or 4 stocks, or if that's all a determination I want us to make as a group, unless you guys feel like I need to moderate it a little bit more and kind of give some direction. Good morning, Reg. How you doing? Glad to have you with us, bro. We're just going over laying out the plan for the coffee and stock small account group session. Challenge. Somebody had, I think it was Justin, had a great idea where we do like a Zoom call or a Facebook call to really get in depth on discussions. I know that it's kind of hard for people to communicate through the chat right here. Of course, we have our Facebook chat that we can discuss this in more detail, and we can actually hold a call on there and do a screen share, go down the list and things like that. But I want to get some ideas off you guys and have you guys contribute to it. I want this to be a group thing. I don't want it to necessarily just be me with everything I already have going on. A little hungover, but alive. I got you, bro. I need more coffee, to be honest. So if I have these mind blocks or I stop or excuse me, I'm still waking up myself. I've been up 2 hours and I'm still waking up. But or probably 3 hours now. I don't even know. But so I'm interested in EVs. I'm interested in semiconductors. I'm interested in cryptos. If there's any other sectors that anybody else is suggesting, there's a lot of pharma stocks we can get into. I'm pretty comfortable with trading pharma, so I know the layout of how the entire business structure of pharma companies operate. So it'll be easy to identify what stage they're in and what we can expect off of those. And they jump very high off news. So what it's going to take is tracking. What it's going to take is DD. If we can have some people contribute to that, that'd be great. I can build a system where we can log it and we have something to look at when we're doing these calls. I already have the DD database, so and that's a free tool that we all can contribute to, so we can utilize that. And I'm building a somewhat what you can call like a public YouTube type module to the back end of Millennial Investments that you at least have to be a free member to contribute to, but where we can submit potential stocks that we review ahead of time, ahead of the coffee and stock sessions that we hold and stuff like that, just so we're kind of a little more prepared before the actual session starts. So I'm looking at that. Tracking's already in place. I know how I can track it. We already have our trade tracker on Millennial Investments, but if there's any additional ideas that you guys can contribute, feel free to let me know. I'm all open for any ideas on how we can do this together in real time. Of course, we have the Facebook chat for live updates, quick updates, and stuff like that. But as far as sharing that information that we're logging, I'm going to try to build something that even if it's people not have a free membership on Millennial Investments, they can still access it to some degree. But I guess we can start with asking everybody, are there any particular stocks that you have been watching that you think are good plays that we could dedicate either the entire $100 to or a portion of it, or potentially do call options on? I know that we've been really going through, understanding your key levels, and I've been doing my option trading tutorials kind of live with you guys as I get into the trades. And that's focused on entries. And what I expect to do next is more live sessions on exit strategies as I'm making them. So I'm already doing coffee and stocks pre-market option tutorials where we're sitting there, we're looking for the entry into the trade. After I make the trade, I pretty much drop off the live stream. Well, when I get ready to start to sell it, I want to hop in real quick, potentially on the live stream, and basically go over my exit strategy when I feel like I'm getting to that point of exiting. Now that's kind of hard to do and hard for people to hop on because I know other people, have jobs that they have to be at and stuff like that. I work for myself, so I'm able to do stuff like that. At least it'll be there in recording, and I can also do a proper update in the Facebook chat, like, hey, we're getting out of it, so you can hop on real quick and hop out. And that's why I wanted to build the Facebook chat to begin with, so we can have more of a live updating thing. But the thing about the Facebook chat is, we can have 20 people talking in there, and I can send a message out like, hey, we're getting out. And I have my email alert system, which a lot of people don't check their email. I'm not sure how many people are on Discord, so I would like to figure that out. If you have Discord, I have a community built. I'm just not utilizing it, but I can. if that helps. I have the mobile app. The mobile app is actually on the App Store now. But when I built it for using an iPhone simulator, and I had to make some graphic corrections on some of the icons for the Android side, and then I'm gonna upload the update, and we're good to go. I expect to try to do that today, so I can go ahead and push the app out next week. That'll have the capabilities of doing push notifications. Of course, I have to integrate the push notifications into the system first, but right now I'm strictly working on Facebook and email alert setups, but I'm looking at integrating Discord. I just don't know how many people actually use Discord. So if you can let me know in the chat who actually uses Discord, then I'll utilize it if it makes it easier on us, at least to use now until the push notifications come into play. I just got a lot of things going on where I haven't sat down to really focus back on the app. I haven't even really made any updates to the website either because of everything I'm focused on. Somebody said RVLV. Let's look at it. Looks like I'm gonna need my TDA pulled up. Of course, I don't even have it pulled up, do I? No, I don't. RVLV. So, with the stock, you're on my Discord, Steve. Okay. Cool. So it sounds like I want to see if anybody else is currently utilizing Discord. You use Discord, cool. What I'll do then, because I typically I use the investors community, investors talk community. That's what I've been riding with. There are educational partners on Discord, but I have always had a Millennial investments one set up. I just, like I said, haven't utilized it, so I can set it up, shoot you guys some invites on it real quick, and even if you don't have Discord, it's easy to set up. So of course, I'm trying to minimize the number of apps that we have. I don't want too many apps, which is my ultimate purpose of building an app. So what I'm doing right now is what I'll do, I have all loaded up. All right, cool. So it looks like most people use it. I'm going to go ahead. Julian, are you in our Facebook group chat? Excuse me if I'm not aware if you are or not. I'm dealing with a lot of people, so it's hard to kind of keep track of who is in there and who isn't. I'll go ahead and pop it in the chat real quick. Let me do this. That way you guys have the link. If you're not already in the Discord, you can just click it in this this YouTube live, but I'm going to add it to Facebook as well. And you can do it later. But I want to make sure everybody is in the Discord first. But that's fine. Then that actually makes it easier because my automation platform for my delivery system allows me to do updates directly on Facebook, and I can have I have an option tracker built into Millennial investments already, where what I'll do is I'll build a mobile version for it though, where I can say sell. Just click a button, it pushes it out, hits Discord. There's somewhat of a delay with it though, and that's my concern. So if I gotta manually do it, I will. But that'll kind of segment and separate some of these things, even with like the small account group challenge that we're doing. Doing a voting system. I've seen that done in Discord. Of course, I'm gonna have to bring in my buddy Dustin to help me get it properly set up. So basically to get to my point, since everybody uses Discord, that's fine. That'll work. I think it'll be a lot easier than what Facebook offers, because it's just simply focused on chatting in Facebook. And a lot of people don't use Discord, and that's why I focus on Facebook. But anyways, moving forward though, we can go through the coffee and stock sessions real quick. Look at some of our stocks that performed up until yesterday. It looks like NLSP is still jumping. Was up another 100% yesterday. Hit 635. My next concern is I'm not wanting to focus on any stocks that are already up like 100%. So I'm going to go ahead and skip past that one. PYR was just added to the NASDAQ, I believe, or the New York Stock Exchange. They were already on the TRX, the Toronto, or TSX, Toronto Stock Exchange, and they were an OTC stock before, so they've been listed. They just actually they've been on the American stock exchanges. They just got listed on the NASDAQ. So I'm partial to looking at that one necessarily, so I'll skip past that one as well. OGI is something we've been following well. Just instantly looking at the stock, me personally, from the 4-hour perspective, we bounced off the 297, and it's currently, I have a feeling the group chat on Facebook will just watch and execute and ride the coattails and provide no input but reap the benefits. I agree with that, because it's very quiet. There's a lot of people in there, but it's very quiet. And it's mainly like maybe 10 people in there. And I was handed over those groups. My guy, Andre, somebody I've been working with from Global Market Centers. He's one of our partners here at Millennial Investments. He's actually the one giving us these chat groups that he's set up, and we're basically consolidating them to make a more inactive or more active type setup and a centralized location. And that's been the focus that me and him have had, is a centralized location, and that's why we focused on building Millennial Investments the way we did. It was mainly focused, once we started working together, it was going to be like a social investor network, but it seemed like people were more partial to just focusing on receiving the information on trades, getting into trades, getting out of trades. So that's why we kind of pulled back, focused on making sure that was concrete, and then now we can start integrating that. But we already have tools that are developed like Discord, like Facebook, and the Facebook groups that we can utilize for the time being until all that's established. It's just like, I built the entire setup where, Millennial Investments had like a Facebook setup to it where you can post and comment. And I was working on the group chats, but it was like nobody was going after it. Nobody was posting on it. So I was like, it was almost like a waste of time. I wanted to focus on things that people cared about. And mainly the main mission here is everybody's worried about only focused on how can you make money. So that's really what I wanted to focus on, and why I kind of shifted away from it for now, at least. So that's something in the future we can build through the mobile app. That's cool, but right now I'm just going to utilize the tools we have, and make it easier. It will require us to have at least 2 apps if we were to focus on using the My MI app and then Discord for quick communication, instant communication, and calls and stuff like that. Like, it has all those features included. So Justin, to your point yesterday, we can use Discord for our calls. I'm not sure if it has the control feature, like the hosting control feature, though, if you can mute people and stuff like that. So we'll do some tests if you don't mind doing it with me. Good morning, Johnny. How you doing, man? Welcome. We're just discussing some ways of how we can organize this whole group challenge. If you want to catch up, you can always rewind in the video and catch up a little bit and then speed back up to the live version. But right now we're just going over, what stocks have performed over the past week, 2 weeks, ever since the market pulled back, reversed, and finding opportunities and moving forward. OGI, I like OGI for the simple fact that we hit some support levels. We bounced off some support levels, and something that stands out to me next in the stock is the 477, which it looks like it has a momentum in testing, and bouncing through those levels, or getting rejected and bouncing off of it. I'm more partial that it's going to bounce down, though, so we could potentially find, if the momentum continues to the upside, we could potentially find a lower price point into it at a later time, just letting it do its thing, unless it releases some news that catapults it, as that catalyst to keep pushing it. DNN, I need to add that stock, that RVLV. So if we were to look at RVLV, I would look at options. Let me make sure they even have options. The fact I look at options is because it's over $25. Stocks that are over $25, I mainly focus on buying options on them, because it's much cheaper to hold a larger, it's much cheaper to profit from the most, if that makes sense. So RVLV, let me see what they put. Yeah, they have options on this, so I like it. We can use this as a catalyst to start option trading on, depending on how it's performing, of course. So we need to do our analysis on it first and foremost. And one thing that does stand out is the fact that it's in the strong uptrend. It did have the pullbacks from the markets the last few weeks where the markets pulled back, but it bounced right back off of it, and it fell back into that same trend that it's been going into. So I'm going to try to identify that trend, that channel, first and foremost, and see how it's performing to that. Maybe I should do it like this. So then we can clone it. Alright, so something to this degree is what I'm looking at. Is the channel that is trading in. It's at the top end of it. And then a support level that I was paying attention to is somewhere around here that it needs to find support at. So about the 470. And as you can see, it's finding some resistance there. It needs to break above it, of course. In order to continue moving forward. This uptrend states that it will. But just looking at the momentum indicators that I follow, at least, the 1 hour has some headroom, so we could bounce up to like the $51 area if we were to buy $50 calls on this. Let me see how I can do it. I'm gonna pop this up. Let me move some of my stuff around for you guys. Seems like we got 10 people in here. If you can let me know who's all in here with us, just so we know. We're just going over potential stocks that we can get into. So there's our option chain. Typically, I want to focus on things that are like, a month out. Buy some time. This is about 34 days. These are with long calls. And what we could do is, depending on how this either gaps up or gaps down Monday, we could potentially buy these $60 calls for about $100, $100.60, of course. We'd make $18 for every dollar it went up. So the main thing I'm going to focus on, with it being a longer term option, is where can it be by at least the end of April, or beginning of April rather. And it could honestly, let me do this. Based on its long-term trend, we could be somewhere around here, around the $54 range. So it's at 47. How I would calculate this is it could go up $7, $6. Let's say that we can make $60 off of it, but it would have to wait until all the way until April, which is what, 2 weeks out. So I'm looking for some quick moves as far as options, and I wanted to take the time to show that so that you can see where I'm coming from on the option side. And I'm not gonna be the only one to make the decision on the options. We can do some intraday swing trades on any one of these stocks and make some quick bucks off of them. And the good thing about options is that the money you use and make off of it, you can use the next day versus having to wait 2 days on buying an equity stake, which is why you typically don't see me buying too many, actual buying into equity actually on these stocks, actually buying shares. It's because of that 2-day transfer that it takes from the clearinghouse and the broker and stuff. With options, I can trade an option a day, close it out, day trade it, and then the next day I'm already looking at using that money again. So, let's see. Definitely one I'm going to keep on the list. So what I'll do is, it sounds like I'm going to need to start another coffee and stocks. I'm going to call it GC options, for the fact of for group challenge, and I'll add that to it. I checked out SEEL too. Okay, and ultimately I want you guys to do your research and bring them to the table too. Yes you can, Justin. That's really what I want to get, is marginal options where I can basically have my money the same day, so that I can do strong swings. Every up and down swing I can ride, because I have my momentum indicators in play. And a lot of the time, like, you'll see me buy my options in the morning and by the end of the day, I really capitalize on them by just holding them through that day because of the momentum that I'm watching on the larger time frames. I know it's going up or I know it's going down. You know what I'm saying? Unless there's some catalyst that just sends it in the opposite direction, which is sometimes rare on things that I typically do option calls on. So yeah, right. I trade in and out, man, every day, in and out on my swings. Some I hold over the night if I think the entire market's going to keep pushing. Like with EV play, it's easy to gauge how it's going to perform because you can watch Tesla all the way through pre-market up until the end of after hours and kind of get an idea of what it's going to do. It's when it gaps down that's the issue, and that's typically why I don't hold my options longer than a day. It's because the markets are having these violent gap downs, whether it's up or down. Of course, and it can go reverse in whatever I'm thinking. So that's why you see me day trading options. I was able to build my account that way, and then I'm on a swing trade, which is typically either on a shorter term basis of 2 to 3 weeks or 2 to 3 months, up to 6 months sometimes if I think it's really worth waiting that long. But I'm not. I'm looking at capitalizing and increasing my account value by the week. You know what I'm saying? 2 times by the week. That's my focus. So with me doing these day trades on options, it's easy to do that real quick. You don't have to capture all the money in the world off of it, but you can at least have some consistent gains. And for the past 10 days, I've had at least $200 gains every day. There's some days I only hit my minimum, like 1 or 2, but it's more so often that I hit 2 times, and that minimum being 108, 104. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I'm able to, ladder approach this, build an account that has a lot more buying power in the small account than when I started. And now I can segment this now. I can do a third of it goes straight to swing trades that I know I'm going to let sit there for 2 to 3 days. A third go to options on the markets. A third go to options on some of those swing trades that I'm holding. So I can hedge them if they pull back on me, and I can still capture some quick gains off of it, put those profits back into those same shares that I was holding in the first place. So it allows you to be kind of versatile now. Once you start building your buying power, you don't want to dedicate everything to one thing, because if that one thing doesn't perform, you're not only missing an opportunity on something else, you're losing money at the same time. ECOL, okay, and I need to make another for just equity holds as well. There we go. Yeah, send them in, man. Let me know what you're looking at for sure. Why is this? Oh, I guess it's always going to be capitalized. I'm sorry. Equity stocks, and I'm actually going to name this one. I'll rename the other one as well. Oh wait, what am I doing? Tripping. That's what I'm doing. I need to wake up. I need more coffee. This will be my 3rd cup of coffee this morning, and I need it. Let me do this. Let me go 01. That way I can separate it. And then let me make new list for 01 coffee and stocks. And I'll add all these as we move forward. GC equity stocks. There we go. All right. And then also, I'm not just going to add them. We have to clear them. I want your opinion on if you think it's a good trade or not. Not just off my own thesis. I want this to be a group effort. So looking at SEEL, is currently needing to find support above the 448.2. It's currently trading at 448 as of after hours close yesterday, and it topped out at 588. That's looking at a 140 profit margin if it finds the support and continues to push up. Of course, it's currently overbought, so I expect this to consolidate going into next week. We can look at it over on the lower time frames to kind of confirm that. We could see a double RSI bounce if this already wasn't the time that it occurred, that being that it bounced up, overbought, and pulled back, and then bounced back off of that RSI level. Of course, typically, I don't know why this is set up like this, but I typically use the 75 and the 25 versus the 30 and the 70, because it kind of gives you a more defined level of it really being overbought and when you can expect your reversals from those standpoints. So I expect this to actually pull back a little bit. And when it does, I expect it to land right on top of that 320. So we can look into getting into this if it pulls back to those levels, and then we know we can bounce up to the 442s again, which is about 120. That'll be like a 30 to 40% gain. So I like it to watch and keep it on the sideline. I'll make a sideline list as well that we can kind of revert to when our other two lists aren't working like we need. So, and I'm going to actually add SEEL to that list because it's in a potential pullback. Now, I don't know if it has options though, so we could probably capitalize off that, and it does. So, actually, I need to shift a little bit more. I'm kind of building this as we go and talk about this. Feel free to, like I said, feel free to add any ideas to the chat at any time. Man, this is far down here. I don't like that. Anyways, this is going to be our call list, and then I need one for puts. And I'm actually more interested in doing puts on this to let it pull back a little bit, and then capture some of those profits on the down end if we were to go this route. Okay. I'm also going to be doing this on the side here where I have like a spreadsheet for us at least, and I can share that spreadsheet for the most part. Let me get that set up. Actually need to utilize the spreadsheet for my description on YouTube, so it kind of plays a good part. All right, back to the chat. I'm sorry, guys. Like I said, I'm building this as we go. So that would be my call on that, Julian. Is it potentially, let me move this out of my face a little bit, it potentially pulling back down to the 320s. So if we were to play this trade, my stuff's all out of whack again. Let me move this over here. If we were to play this trade, though, I would look at potentially buying, we could buy a $35 option on this to $250. And if it drops $1, we'll make $37 off of it. So we would actually double up the option on it. So I'm going to do a type. It's going to be an option play to consider. And then call or expectation put option. We're looking at the April 21 $35 costs, $250 puts, cost $35. We can make per dollar, we can make, let's see, $37 off of it. So costs, strike, expiration, and what I'll do is I'll show this, I'll actually do it on this PC so that we can look at it together. Matter of fact, I'm going to do it on that spreadsheet because this spreadsheet right here is a market cap evaluation calculator that I'm building for myself that I'm going to put in my MI to use so that we can kind of estimate moving forward. Also, that'll play a part in this because we can estimate, all right, this company is about to do this. How much is it expected to make off of that? We can throw it in that calculator and add it to the market cap and see what the percentage growth and the actual stock price is going to be instantly. So we can kind of get some price targets that are a little more firm. And if they hit those stock prices, then we know that it can jump from that price up, and that'll build like a profit margin for us. All right. Next one we'll look at is ECOL. Let's see. I like it. Strong trend upwards, even though the market's pulled back a little bit. It didn't drop down too strong. Resilience in a market pullback is key in these types of stocks. Let's see. Let me look back on the 4-hour. We'll start from there on it. So support levels that stick out to me is that, and then of course right here, if it were to fall again, I want to see, what is this, the MACD doing all the way up here? anyways, we'll look straight at on the chart too, and then pull the, not the drawings, indicators out. What I want to do now is, with a stock that's breaking out like this, I want to see how it's reacted to these price points before. As always, as you can see right now, Justin, is this key level of support that it played before. I want to see if it acts as resistance. If it does not act as resistance, we can expect this to break out at least to right here, for the simple fact that this was the last resistance level it hit before it finally broke down to these levels, which was back in March. So it still has about $13 to gain, which is close to about 25% since its pre-pandemic highs. So I like this play as long as we find confirmation above $50 or $45 going into Monday pre-market. So I'll add it to our option calls. Actually, I'm gonna pull up these watch lists on a separate PC so that I can add them and don't have to keep jumping in real time. So I like it though. I like it more than RVLV, to be honest. ECOL. All right. Next one, CHPT. Charge point. I like charge point a lot. It's an EV play, actually. I believe. A charging station play, actually. Let's see where the price levels are real quick. Reset the chart. It's finding support right here. Right on that 52. Of course, was a victim of the pullbacks in the market. I want to see how it reacts to these levels. That's a $6 spread. So what I'll do is I'll add a spread target 320 current price. Spread. And it will be this. And it's this. All right. And that'll tell us basically what our spreads are like on our option calls. That's how we'll do it. I see some people are falling off. I guess they're not highly interested in the small account challenge. But that's fine. 34 will be the spread here, 34.44. And then it's currently trading at 26.52. And this is eco option call. Looking at the options on it, we could look at, and these are pretty high, and they only have monthlies. Not a lot of open interest either. That's a concern. Oh, we're looking at CHPT. So CHPT. I'm sorry. Did I type the wrong thing in? There we go. It looks a lot better. So we could do, let's go down, look into when it could potentially hit those levels again. It looks like it's actually trading to the motion of Tesla. So I'm looking at March 18th that it could hit those levels. We could honestly buy the maybe the weeklies on April 1st. I like monthlies over weeklies though, personally. But as you can see, the weeklies are broken down a lot better. So we're shooting for $34. So open interest, I would base it off the $60 call to $40 by April 1st. So April 1, April April 21, was that $40? Let's scoot this over a little bit. We're looking, yeah, $40 strike. Cost would be $60. Per dollar is 15. Spread, $8 spread. Potential growth. would be the spread times the delta. You know, as we do these sessions moving forward, we won't have that much of an issue. You know, all this that we're having to do right now. But anyways, so that'll give us 118 on the trade. Which seal is what? What was seal at? 475. So now you're already starting to see where the differences come into play and what we could potentially gain off making these put and call options. And this is kind of how I analyze it with what I do now. I'm just able to do that in my head. Let's see. Chesapeake Energy. Look at it from the 1 hour. It looks like it's fairly new for the most part. I want to see how it reacts to that right there. The 46.59 long-term trend somewhere in this area. Trading about midway. Channel would be... Where's my option to clone it? There it goes. Currently trading in this channel here. So we got a lot of headspace. Could jump up to... Let's do this. Do it this way. So we could be at least a $46 call, or, well, that actually, let me pull this out a little bit. Looking into April, I don't think it's necessarily going to jump up that heavy again like it did, but I mean, it's not impossible. Summertime's coming with things like energy stocks. You can expect gas prices to go up. You can expect crude industry to pop up. I think this is a crude stock. Let me double check to make sure. Analyze crude. What is this? CHK. It's not even showing up. But anyways, moving forward though. We could do some $46 calls on that for sure, because we know it's going to hit that level. It's just that they don't have a lot of options on it. But you can do some $50 options. Nobody's bidding on it, which is, well, it's March 6th, that's why. So we could do 60s. I'm trying to do this under budget too, so it makes it a little bit hard. So they might not have a lot of his. Okay, got you. I like the $60 calls into April because this allows us to actually move up to about $50 before April, as long as it sticks to this trend. If we were to get into this and it breaks below this trend, we've got to get out of the option trade. Is my what I would prefer. So it's currently trading at $45. It's only a $5 spread. We'd only make $35 off of this option. So I'm not too happy, you know, with looking at this one too much more. ARTP. This is a weird looking. Okay. Yeah, I don't know about that one either. I'm gonna add this to our sideline. I wish TradingView lets you pull up multiple watch lists at one time. And if they do, excuse me for my ignorance, but I'm just not aware of that. I did add CHK though, just to keep an eye on it. I don't know about this AirTP one. I'll look at DNMR. It has some nice spreads to it, for sure. $50 is a $9 gap, up to 65 is a $14 gap. Trend is this. And why does it not show my clone button all the time? It irritates me when I see that. So we're looking at into April. We could be at $65, so that's the $4 spread. I'll keep this on the side as well, so you guys I don't have to keep flipping back and forth, but we'll look at the option change together at least. I like this one though, DNMR. That's what the option chain looks like. Do an option call on it. Now we have to pick out our selection. Doesn't have any weeklies on it, which is something I don't like. I love weeklies more than anything. We can honestly spend our $100 on this one call right here, but we'd only make $15 for the jump up. And it has a $16 spread. Currently at 41.84. We're looking at a target of 65.09. That's a $348 potential if the call is on point. And that's with a April 16th deadline or expiration date. Let me do this. I'm just kind of building things out over here. I want to have us a tracking system. I think that's key in us doing this together. Strike is $60. Cost is $95. So what this will eventually do is it'll have a cost to profit gain ratio for us, and we can base our options off of that. Add it to the list, DNMR. I see some people falling off, so who all is still here with us, just so I know. I know some people that hopped in probably weren't looking into this whole option challenge that we're doing together, which is understandable. As far as CLPS, key level to pay attention to is at 514. It's broken out heavy to the 20s. I want to know why, of course. And then looking at our next levels, we need to get above or right there at 583. Let me look at the 1 hour and see how we're looking. Potential to break out to, if it bounces up above 583, we're going to 961, and I don't think they have options for CLSP, but I can look. And if they don't, that's fine, because we can just do an equity hold on it and trade. No options, so this would actually fall on our equity stocks list. Let's see. All right. And then back to the list that you guys added. All in, bro. Cool. GRHC. Yeah. GHRC isn't even showing up, Julian, for some reason. I'm not sure if that was a typo. Synthetic Bionics. Penny stock. Not bad. Look at the 4 hour. Support right around 76 level. Resistance right around the $1.20 spread, 16-cent spread. Is that right? Doing my math right? Yeah, 16-cent spread. So, I'm not opposed to it. What do you guys think? Let me know what you think about CLPS. And I understand a lot of people will probably only provide us with stocks that we'll put shares into, versus options and finding stocks to buy options on. So with that being said, what I'm going to do is start looking myself. First and foremost, I'm going to look at liquidity stocks, because of the fact that the more money that moves through a stock, the easier it is to move it in any direction that we want it to go. And it doesn't have to be up. It can be down, or headed down, which is the good thing about options. You can play both ways, outside of having a PDT, no PDT, and being able to actually short stocks and stuff like that. Really, GE had 1.6 billion moved through it. I like SEAL because it was second on the list for most liquidity of the day next to GE, a lot more than I did at first. And I think we did have some options on it. It was high on the pickup, but could pull back very easily. So we can capture some gains on the downside real quick, buy some equity stocks into it with the profits, and move on to the next option with it as a strategy. No option on C. Yeah. Did I add it to the option? No, I added to the equity shares, Justin. Another one is, so we have GE. You can look at it, see where it's at. Currently down, $2 spread. We can buy some shorter term on this for the simple fact that it's finding support right about there, about the 1222. Bouncing off of that, we can expect it to go back to $14. This could be an intraday swing trade if we wanted it to be. And something like that would look like GE. Maybe give it 14 days and we could buy some options on this for 50 cent in the money calls and make $50 off of this. I like GE a lot and making that call. I'm going to add it to the list, and what I'll do is green. I'll turn it green because I think it's going to perform better than the rest. And that's something else that TradingView allows me to do is focus in on or, tab some of these things. What's up, Justin? I think you weren't here earlier this morning. Where are you? No, you weren't, but glad you're here. We're going over the plays for next week. GE being at the top of my list on option calls that are cheap but easily moved and can move very easily because of the liquidity going into it. So if we were to go into this on Monday, we could buy a March 26, 2021 1250 option. It's already in the money, meaning that it's already above that level. We already see that it has support on the 1222, so if it breaks down to the 1222, we get out of the trade. We're only putting $50 towards it, and we can make $56 for every dollar that it goes up. I'm expecting a $2 jump on it within a week. It should go up $100, so we should multiply that option by 3x. It should be up 2x, excuse me, so at least 200% when we're done with it. It has a lot of open interest at this level. About 4,800 people own this option already. 333 of those options were picked up yesterday alone. So a lot of people expecting this to move, and I expect the same. So just based off of the technical analysis, and that being finding support above the 320, the 1222. I want to see what resistance looks like about the 1328, which if it even meets resistance right there, it only solidifies the fact that we'll at least double what we put into the option. Okay, so we're gonna pay 51 cents on the option, or $51 on the option. We're looking to make it a jump from 1328 to 1328. That allows us to have resistance there and at least capture close to 100% on the trade. A lot of open interest. A lot of people expect it to go there. It also allows us, if this were to happen within next week, it allows us to have another 7 days beyond that, meaning we're only losing $2 a day on theta, so we're only losing $14 at tops going 7 days out from today. Okay, so I'm highly interested on GE. I want to take time to let you understand my point. What's up, J-Dub? How you doing, man? So highly looking at GE on options for this week. I might go a little bit heavier on my main account. I might do one for the group challenge and then one for my main account as well, just to capture some of those gains. Or I might, spend like $200-300 on those. I really like it a lot. We already talked about SEEL, looking at AAL, American Airlines. American Airline, the airline industry saw some bounces going into this week. I can't remember exactly why. I think it was because like the CDC was, or something like that was. You're starting to see a lot of states not require domestic travel bans anymore. So a lot more people are feeling a little bit more comfortable with flying again. Um, I want to look at this on the weekly because of how damaged the air industry is and what we can expect from that. Now, if we buy options into this, we need to break strong above that 24.85. And then we'll be back above pre-pandemic levels, which I think there's so much pent-up demand. I think that's what really led to it. The bounce we saw on these stocks yesterday was the pent-up demand into getting back into airline industries. That being said, with the stimulus and light opening is really going to open up travel. Agreed. Exactly what I was about to say. So, with that being said, we could look at doing some options on this, but we'd have to do it further out, allow it some time to get to $30. It's about a $7 spread. And looking at options on that, I want to see where let's define our midterm trend basically and how it's trading first before we try to speculate on what options and targets we're going after. Now, looking into potentially August before we hit $30 on AAL, if we were to go that direction with this particular stock, we can also use these stocks to understand the industry they're in and then compare them to other companies and actually place the bets on the other companies versus this one. I'm only focused on this one specifically because of the amount of money it saw run into it yesterday alone. If we were to do anything with this, it would be in, like I said, more so around August, which is on the monthly calls. You're going to see more expensive prices on these contracts, as you can see. So we might have to do something shorter term on it to build it up to get to August, like we can do $30 $30 strikes for $53. It's about 10,000 people in that. We'll make $19 per dollar. It goes up. $7 spread. That's about 100. What is that? Let me do the math real quick, just to make sure I'm right. Don't want to tell you the wrong thing and misguide you. So it costs $53 per dollar. Is currently 19. Current price is $23.37. Strike price is $30. Let's do this. We're looking at $125 on the win off placing a $53 bet on AAL option call, and we're looking at 16 April 21. Now, thing to consider about options is that they trade just like stocks to some degree, because people can keep buying them and buying them and buying them without the price moving, right? So not only do you have the intrinsic value, the underlying stock price going up, you have people willing to buy them at higher prices because they're expecting that stock price to go up. And then the intrinsic value you make per dollar that the stock goes up. So it correlates in two different ways. Of course, it works the same way, and that's why buying options is a lot more riskier than just buying equity and holding shares. So GE, we were looking at, I didn't even track GE. I need to get that. It was the $53 calls on April 16th. And these are 34 days out, so we have time. So you'll see lower time decays. Your theta will be at $1 a day. You'd have to wait. We're looking at a $13, I think it was. Was it April? Or was it another date? Yeah, I think it was April. $13 calls. It's currently out of the money, but not far from it, sitting at $12.58. It would cost us $53. We would make. I feel like we were looking at a different option on this. I think we were looking at a smaller time frame, is what it was. Yeah, there it was. The March 26th ones. That's what it was. I'm sorry, guys. And it's gonna cost us. The strike is $12.5. It's already in the money. That's why we're going after it. We'd make $56 per dollar. Currently sitting at $12.58, and the target is actually $14. We'd make about $79 if it hit $14 right now. which is not bad. It's almost like 125% on the trade, 150% on the trade. So I like it, and that's why I like it. That's GE, by the way. Moving forward, next on the liquidity stock list is eBond. Michael, the guy that helps me with the DD, or that's working to help me with the DD, he made some eBond calls and said that they bought them last week and it's jumped up $1 for him, and or it's jumped up pretty well. It spiked yesterday about $4 or $5. Currently consolidating though. Has a big gap to fill all the way down to that 850 level that I'm looking at least 950 before it bounces off the EMAs. But I want to go back to 4 hours so we can define those levels first. Look for some support around the 864 before we get into this. And this is what we're looking at. Rejection here, rejection there. So about April, we can start looking at this again. So I'll add it to the list for a longer time frame. This will be on our sidelines list. But I'm going to hold off on it myself. Is my suggestion. And feel free to say, like, no, man, we need to look into this if you know anything about it that I don't. Next on the list is Ford. I've been talking with a lot of people about Ford. Ford's doing very well in doing so. It's currently at some levels that it hasn't been in since like 2016. And I want to go to those levels, have a look at them. We can do some calls on Ford. You can buy some time on it because it's going to take a while. It only has like a $5 spread though, so that's the only thing I don't like. And the fact that it takes so long. I mean, this is what, January? It jumped $8 to $13 or $6 in 2 months. So I don't really like those types of stocks. Although this is propping up and we could win some money on it, I'm not saying we can't. I'm just looking at the most valuable options that we can go after. And currently the top one on our list is DNMR. With those April 16 $60 strikes, would cost us $95. We'd make $15 per dollar that it goes up, and it currently has a $23 spread, but it has to get back up to $65 in order for us to get that. The more sensible trade is GE for those March 26 1250 strike in the money calls, and we'll make about $79 off of it in a shorter time frame, if that makes sense. NLSP is something we've looked at already. And it gapped up yesterday, I think it was, actually. It's when we discussed it, or was it the day before? The 11th. So Thursday is when it gapped up, but it's consolidated. You see how these EMAs played as a support for it to bounce back out? But this is what I'm looking at it currently doing, so I'm going to say hold on this one before it pulls back, and allowing it to pull back. ENTX was another one that broke out this week. Finding some rejections, something to this degree. I'm not saying it's going to drop like that, so I'm not going to use that longer term trend. I'm going to use our horizontals and look for support around the 673, which is currently trading under, but has the momentum to continue breaking higher. I don't think that they have any options, though. It's the issue. And they don't. So, let's see if eyes does. If anything, this could be an equity hold. I'm actually going to add it to the sidelines because I think it's going to consolidate potentially. I could be wrong. And that's why we have this list too, so we can go back and be like, all right, this is where we messed up. We look at the chart, and when we looked at this, which good thing we're doing it on Saturday because we can just spot it out from where Friday's close was. Eyes is another one. It doesn't have options. Currently trading a lot higher than I would want to get into this. I typically don't get into trades like this. Finding support above that 1480 is key for it. I've been doing some reviews on it, trying to keep people aware of these support levels, but I think it's going to come back to those 983s. I said that when it first bounced out, and it bounced right off of it. I think it's going to do it again, and once it does, then that's the third entry point that we can bounce up again, break through the 1480. I think if it does it for the third time, like, people are going to freak out about it and really push it up. So I want to add it to our potential shareholding watch list. CYN, we were just talking about it, doesn't have any options on it. Let me make sure, verify that real quick. Yeah, we're looking for this to bounce to the, if it doesn't die out on us, we're looking for it to bounce to 104. I want to see where that level that it found resistance at, where it plays resistance at a later date. So let me see. Pull back a little bit. Yeah, it's played resistance fairly well. So this could break back down a little bit and hit that 72 again and bounce back up. So I'm gonna put it on the sideline actually. All right. Next one is RXDX. Oh, this is Prometheus Bioscience. This is the one that just got listed. I thought it was another symbol, though. I don't know. Weird. I'm going to look at the next one. AMTX. It's fairly new, too? Oh, okay. I was about to say, that's weird. This thing's just going. Going. I want to see where the momentum is in it. We could potentially do some put options on this. This is on the 4 hour. What's the 1 hour look like? If it doesn't get a support above 1913, then it's dropping down. What I'll do is I'll place an alert for put options on it. AMTX put option alert. $10 strike. And that's only if it even has, let me see if it even has options. It does. And $10 is 34 into April, so it would look something like this. Where's my spreadsheet? Pull that back. AMTX option call put for April 16th, 2021. Strike price $10. Cost would be 51. I think it was 51 cents. Let me see. I hate that. Minimize this one. It was $50. We only make $6 on the fall, though. I don't like that. Current price is $20.62. Target $10. Yeah, you can only make like $63 off of it, but it's still like 20%. So not bad. And I think it's gonna be pretty hectic, but we could gain $63 on this and throw that into the stock itself and let it hold, but that's only if it breaks below. And that was April 16th, 2021. Puts $51. $50. Excuse me. When I'm done, I'll show you the spreadsheet and kind of see how I'm looking at it. CLSP, we looked at it a second ago. Already made our determinations on it. Needs to break above that. Let me see if we have any options on it. No options, so this is strictly equity, which we already have in the list. Cool. KBNT. I've actually talked about this before. I think I brought it up, but I like it because of, can't remember what they do exactly at this point. It's like not landing in my mind what it was that caught my attention, but they need to break above the 896. If they break above the 896, then we can see this going back to the 1254, which is almost like 50% on the swing, which means I really like it. And I'll add it to our list there to watch. KBNT. So I'm looking at 1256 price targets. I do have a price target system in Millennial Investments that we can utilize. The thing about it is I'm going to have to build it where it separates it for the group challenge versus just normal operations. That's the adjustments I'm going to have to make. So MGA. Okay. We looked at MGA. Man, it looks like you can hold call options on this for days and never lose. Those would be, in order to fit our account challenge of $100, we're looking at April 16th, 2021. $100 strikes. Looks like, was that right? $110 strikes. I'm sorry. Let me do this right. I don't know. I'm starting to feel like we need to set this up a little bit more before we spend too much time on it. It's already 10:30. I feel like we're making a lot of progress. I'm not saying that, but it just seemed like a lot of people weren't highly interested in it. And that, at the same time, like, you know, it's not always about just them. So if we were to buy, I would like April 16th calls on this for $110 for $55. We'll make $10 about for every dollar that it jumps, but it has an $18 spread. So we're looking at $18, or $180 on the trade. So just to break down the trade into the spreadsheet and make sure it's compared properly, we're looking at MGA, option, calls, 16, April 21st, 110. Current cost would be $55. Per dollar we make actually $9. But that jumps $3 every dollar it goes up too. That's something I'm not even accounting for, is the the gamma on it. And I'll explain that once we're done, why I'm not doing that. Current price is 92, and we're looking at it to go to 110. So that's $17 spread. We're looking at $153 on the trade. Short-term trade, I like it. I'm gonna add a short-term column to basically solidify that it can happen in a shorter time period, of course. But GE is one and AAL is another. All right, and then I'm gonna do a few more. Unless you guys are adding some to the chat. Let me see. Made 100%, then reduced 50% of POS. I'm in at 950 at eyes. Where's eyes at? Let's go back to it real quick. It's at 1520. Man. Made 100%, then oh, so you did the split and run? Were you just gonna let your profits continue running on it? That's smart. Because I think eyes is gonna break above 1480 and retest $20 again. Which you can make another about what? I'm doing the math in my head. 1/9, so 1/8 is what, 12.5%. You can make another 10% off your profits, unless it continues just going nuts. Yeah, I'm far out of my. I'm beyond my liquidity levels that I'm okay with. So those are the options that I'm looking at. I'm going to let you see those real quick. I'm breaking them down a little bit. Zoom in a little bit so you can see. Nice. I think that's the smartest way to do it, man. You take your initial investment out of risk out of it all, and just let your profits hold long term. Now you have free shares. You know what I mean? I'm not sure how many shares you currently have left, but that could go a long way. And eyes is actually a very nice company. I did some research on them, did a little bit in-depth DD, but not as much as I typically like. But just off of what I saw and looking at their investors relations, like, it was pretty nice. Holding one call entered on MGA. Nice. You're already on top of this, man. So it's very likely that it can hit that point April 16th, MGA. Let's see how likely it is. Just based off the trend that it's currently in, by the way. That's what I'm looking at. And I can zoom in here just a little bit. Let's see. So April 16th is right here. So you see why we were looking at the 110s, Justin. But I still think you're going to do well on that. What you have, you're going to make more than what you put in. Double what you put in. 35. Or where is that? MGA. MGA, April 16th. 115s for 35. You're down $5 right now. So one thing I would pay attention to, I'm not sure what platforms you guys use. That's another thing that's in question, is because TOS actually shows you your open interest on these stocks. I'm not sure if other platforms do, but you really want to focus on where the open interest is, for the simple fact that you want to be able to sell. Open interest means how many people actually hold these contracts already, right? And if you have a low open interest, it's going to be hard to sell that to anyone. Now, if the price gets up there, then you can expect that open interest to pick up. Some things that also stand out is the fact that with this particular call, if you look right here, I can't zoom this in too much, is that 93 of them were traded yesterday, and there's still only 46 left. So it looks like some people are hopping out of this more than hopping into it, if that makes sense. Things that stand out to me is like the volume is almost close to 100% of some of these. Just like these right here. There's 182 of these traded yesterday. There's only 8 people holding it. So that's something to pay attention to. Your open interest compared to the volume kind of gives you an idea of, where people are shifting in and out of these options. Because the last thing you want is to buy this option contract and then have to exercise it worthless. And if it goes all the way down to like 5 cents, you're almost not going to be able to buy it. So that's typically why I focus on options that make me at least $50 up. I'm willing to go down $1 from the time I bought it and lose $50 out of this 480. If I were to pay for it, I'd still have $430 that I could recover it on another trade. I don't always let it go down $50. I have a limit, of course, like 5-10%, which would be either $24 to $48 on this particular trade, just to use it as an example. So that's just how I look at my options, is the open interest compared to the volume, and then how much I'm making per dollar, and then how long I hold it depends on the theta. So like if I were to hold these 480 calls up until April, I'm only losing $6 a day, and it would take 480 divided by 6 is 80 days. Is that right? I don't want to give you the wrong math here. I hate to really do that. 480 divided by 6. Take 80 days. Yeah, I was right. Before it end up worthless just on theta. Now theta increases day by day too, though. So there's some logic to it as well of my limits. As long as it doesn't break below 5-10%, 10% being my top line threshold, sell threshold, then I'll let it run. So anyways, moving forward, we can look at some more things that I use to in options, is looking for those volume breakouts that I was telling you about. So let me see how I can set this up so it works properly. I'm going to do a scan for us, and I'm going to pull it over here so you guys can see it. Just give me a second. So this is what's coming up, but I want to do options, more option related things. I'm only going to look at stocks that are optionable and run the scan in it. Now I know every stock that I'm looking at in front of me I can buy options on, and then I'm going to focus on where the most money is. So this is in millions. So this 854 million, 749 million, these are the things I'm looking at, right? So I'm going to scoot this over to the side so we can actually, or I can do something like, let's see. something like that maybe, and then pull this out. That way we have them side by side for us. All right, and then boom. Actually, I can scoot this over to about right there. So that way we have our little watch list on the side of stocks we can go into. So EPEV. Look at that setup. So this is what my stock scanner looks for. And I can do this in reverse. I can look for stocks that are doing the opposite of this and do puts on them. So like when the market's showing down signs, I scan the markets that way. As I look for stocks that are propped up very high and almost coming down. That way I know the markets are going to pull down, and that's going to weigh down on the rest of the stocks, and I can capitalize on those gains, right? So I'm going to close this so we can actually see the stock a little bit. This looks very healthy in option calls. It looks like we're buying it at a pretty nice price, about $10 off of its base of support. And then I'm looking at resistance levels somewhere around here. I want to see how it reacts to that first and make that my midterm level of resistance right here at $51. So you see the spread. It's $14 spread. Nice spread. And it can bounce that $14 in a matter of 2 weeks. That's another thing that I look for. And this is from February 1st all the way to the 24th. So about the same way it came down and bounced back to the upside. Of course, I want to confirm that if I buy it right now, I want to see how it reacts to that 37.50 first before I'm comfortable enough with it continuing higher to the 51.27, right? So what I'm looking at is call options on it. Yeah, that's what the whole thing is about, Justin, is practicing call options with low risk. So XPEV has some nice open interest on some of these trades. Looking at like $85 an option, 16,000 people own them. You make $17 a dollar, it goes up. It has a $17 or what was it, $14 spread. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop that up on our spreadsheet so we can compare it as well. XPA or XPEV option call. I'm looking at April 16th. In the meantime, even if you're not doing our small account challenge, you can still utilize this information for your actual trading. So I want that to be known too. Like, there's value in what we're doing. We're also learning. That's the ultimate value in it. This would cost $85. Cost per dollar is, what did I say, $17. I'm sorry, I was reading that message. It's currently trading at $35.30 on the smallest bid, and we're looking at, oh snap, hold on 1 second, let me do something. Might be able to bring some what's up, man? Do I hear myself through your screen? What's up? Let me see it. Let me add your audio in here with this. I figured out how to do it after the last time we held our call. So give me a second. Have you been watching, or you just now hopping on, or on the stream? Dylan? Have you been watching, or did you just hop on the stream? Can you not hear me? Guys, give me a second. I'm adding in Dylan. He's our Discord community from unmute myself. Oh, okay. Yo, there we go.
What's up, brother? How's it going?
Good. I'm trying to capture this call on my
We got it. It's coming through. Fine.
Can you hear yourself?
Yeah. I have the stream muted, but I can definitely hear myself.
Okay, cool. I'm not sure if you guys can hear Dylan. Chill, man. Long time no see, bro.
Hey, man, I've been busy with my army stuff as of lately. I see a guy that I used to actually serve with is in here right now.
Oh, really?
Justin Webster. Yeah, Justin Webster.
Got you.
And then you have actually Justin, so it's kind of confusing.
Yeah, I have the Justins. I have I think
Are
there's
they both the same?
no, they're two different people.
Oh, okay.
Goal ultimately is to here I can turn up my volume here. Maybe they can hear you on the that way because it's not. I'm gonna have to get with you on the Discord capture. It's not working directly from the call itself. But
Yeah.
oh shit, that's loud. Anyway, so what we're looking at doing is as a group, we're gonna dedicate $200 out of our account, and we're gonna vote on trades, and we're going to trade them together. You know what I'm saying? So $100 is gonna go to just typically buying shares into stocks, just equity holds, and then the other $100 is gonna be on options. And I want to use
Like
this.
small,
Yeah,
like small leap options.
yeah, right. Just some swing trades, maybe day trades on some of these moves. But like last Monday, I put in $100 in my account, and I got it up to like $1,800 by Friday as a small account challenge, just using purely options for the most part. But I did have some equity holds in there that I did. They just weren't moving like the options, right? So I wanted to use the opportunity to show people, in comparison, this is how much more valuable, and also how to utilize options in their trading portfolio altogether, and getting used to and comfortable with even dealing with options because a lot of people don't know how. And so I felt like the best way to do it is just putting $100 at it, start from scratch, and just go from there. So that's what we're looking at, is basically comparing some of those options and how valuable they can or can't be, compared to other options that we could go after. So that's what we're looking at now. I'm kind of building out a tracking system and a spreadsheet just so we can all have access to that info and review it together. And so I'm looking at call spreads, like current to target spreads, and then like for the example, I just did a scan. I found XPV. Looking at the chart, it's looking propped up very strong to bounce back to the 51s. Looking at some potential April calls on that for the simple fact the new trend that it's currently trading on reversal is something to that degree. I'm not saying it's going to go to that in that form or fashion, but could potentially get back to the $51 range. If it does, then we can make $266 off a $51 or $85 option. You see what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, that's pretty decent.
right.
Yeah, I've just been myself. I know I've been kind of away from the scene for a little bit, but I'm still here. But I've been building my long-term portfolio. I think I put about $3,000 into it as of the last month.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, man, I'm officially a Tesla shareholder, which is something I've always wanted to be.
Yeah.
So I bought a couple shares of Tesla. I've got some really strong Riot positions.
I like Riot.
Riot, man, Riot.
I like Riot.
Especially coming into Monday. I don't know if you've seen what BTC is trading at as of this
It's at
weekend.
60K, right?
BTC is. Yeah, I think that's I don't know what the all-time high is. Is it 62 or what is
62, I think. It's where it topped out, and then
62. So
then it dropped
so
down.
My whole goal on my Riot positions are just to hold them, and we'll see how high we go after 62 because it's just gonna hit. There's no reason it wouldn't hit it.
Right.
So we'll see. It hits 62, and we'll see how high we go after that. And then I'm gonna sell something for the usual pullback on those big moves. Then I'll probably re-enter that. But I mean, as far as options are going, I took an L on Tesla. Some big L's on Tesla. I was just like 2 days off too, man. So I wound up like blowing up one of my other trading accounts. So
Yeah.
I just kind of been chilling here. I think I lost like 2.5 K. So
I'm actually going over
it's upsetting, but
I'm going over how to add this
you
Discord
got
call.
April's coming. Tesla earnings are coming up in April.
I'm not sure. I can look on the chart real quick. It'll tell me on TV.
They should be April.
Let me see. Man, you hear about the factory catching on fire?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean shit to Tesla.
It's in May. I've heard it's caught on
April,
fire.
May, okay.
Yeah, in May. I heard that it's caught on fire plenty of times, so it's like nothing new for them.
I mean, that's small news for Elon's and
Yeah.
just keeps blowing up billion-dollar rockets on the usual. But however, I believe that Elon Musk, if he relaunches the S10 or the SM10 or whatever the fuck it's called, it should land properly. He said the reason it didn't land is because he forgot to remove a bug from his code. So
Yeah. I'm still looking. I took a break for a second so I can add in the call properly. And I'm going through some guides on the side here, and it's not working. I guess I'm not adding a source right.
we can figure that out. Then,
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
So, yeah, I can help you like make it where we can like.
I mean, the only way for it to work right is for us to be in a live stream, though.
If
Unfortunately.
you wanted to, we could set up where you could capture after.
Yeah.
I mean, the audio was working earlier. I don't know if it just stopped working when you go in the.
I don't know. It's not showing up properly. I also upgraded my Streamlabs now, so I'm live on Facebook too. And it's pushing to all the groups at the same time. Like, I like the setup now that we have. Says add source, which I have. Audio input capture. Sorry guys, like I've been trying to figure this out for so long, and now that I have Dylan on a Discord call, I really want to figure it out. And there's a reason why I want to figure it out too, Dylan, is because we're talking about using Discord as our way to keep up with the small account challenge. So it's kind of imperative I figure this out now, because we're talking about having calls on Discord and using that as a like a group conversation where we can review some of this stuff. Yeah, you cut out there.
My Discord started, bro. No wait. A lot of people.
You're like cutting out, bro. I don't know if you can hear me. I guess it's built-in input. I don't know, man. It's really I guess he hopped off for a second. Oh, okay. I figured it out. All right, cool. I don't know if he's gonna hop back in here or not now. Of course, right when I figure it out, he hops out. So output is going to be, give me a second, guys, and I can get back to it. So output, doesn't have VB cable there. Built-in producer, I guess. I don't know, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to figure this out so that we can utilize Discord moving forward. I'm not sure who's even with us anymore because of the time it's taken me to do this. I have 6 viewers in here, so if y'all could just bear with me real quick while I try to figure this out. Go to voice settings. Oh, I guess you have to download it. Duh. I have to download this. Okay. Cool. I would love to have you guys actually on the call, you know, moving forward, so that we can talk a little bit more in person, versus you guys just having to constantly chat and stuff like that. For those that are even interested in doing something like that. And I think this will be the way for me to do it, with the Discord channel and stuff like that. So I'll get that installed on the side. We'll keep pushing forward though. Let's look at the scanner again, and then pull up. Couldn't be opened, of course not. I'll get it set up later and test it with Dylan or something. Somehow. MRVL is next on the list though, to keep pushing forward. Probably same type of setup. And so with these setups, what I want to look for is I could honestly add a filter in here for where would it be? Would it be the fundamentals, all-time highs? No, it's going to be a stock option. I'd have to figure out how to identify the all-time high in a scan, but I can do it basically to focus on, let's say high. No, that's not going to do what I needed to do. I don't know. I'm going to have to figure out how to filter it down like that, like I needed to. But what I wanted to do is find stocks that are off a certain percentage from their all-time high or 52-week high at least, and build a scan that would focus on the amount of hit space we have. Even if we did like a 30-day high, if I can find a formula for that, I'll look for a study and then compare where the current prices position. Then we can look at the charts and expect where it could go. It'll like lower down this list a lot for us. So I'll look into that next, shortly after the review here. But I like where it's going. I know it has a lot of adjustments that need to be made. I know some people aren't even interested in it, and that's fine. It's no big deal. But it's just going to take some time to fine-tune it. Mevis, been watching Mevis for a long time. I think I alerted on it when I first built my initial alert system. Baby napping on me. Anyways, I'm looking forward to retest the 2163. I wouldn't do options here. I mean, I could. I know it has options, I believe. By now it should, with all the investor sentiment on it. Let's see. But they're a lot more expensive. Like, all of these are like, in the money starts at $470, and out of the money, the first out of the money call at $18 is $440 going into April 6th. It could actually go even higher than that. That would require for us to do a lot more DD on stocks like this. So really, I'm just looking at technical analysis right now, and based on the momentum that it's pushing off of. And Mevis has never traded at these levels before, I don't believe. No. Well, it looks like it has, so at least we have that to relate to. But of course, this goes all the way back to like 2010 since it traded at these levels, which discourages me because of the fact that they could have done a lot of stock or anything like that. And I think that's a misconception a lot of people have. Who all do we have in here? I know a lot of people probably fell off for the simple fact that we were trying to get all this set up. We're testing all this other stuff and everything. So I just wanted to know who's still in here. Signing into Discord. I only have a mobile though. All right, cool. I shared the link. Keeping up with people's names and stuff like that, and who I'm actually talking to and learning all that stuff. But don't have to say I'm grateful that I haven't missed a day from COVID, even when I got. All right, my Justins are still here. I think that's the only two people here. I know we had to take a lot of time to set this up, which is why I wanted to focus on it, since it's Saturday and it's not Monday and we're going into the market and we're trying to do all this before the market opens. I think we can have like a clear setup and some stocks to look at. Of course, I can myself go down the, I got you, Bear, got you. I myself can go down the coffee and stocks list either today or tomorrow and kind of find some of the opportunities out of there. But with the ones that we've looked at, I feel pretty comfortable with moving forward. Of course, there is the list that we've been following here in Coffee and Sessions that I'd be interested in looking in more as well. This is also weird for me now because, oh great, there's people in my Facebook live stream just sharing stuff that I don't really care about. Like, sign up to Robinhood using this link to claim a free stock. Like, who wants to sign up for Robinhood right now? Anyways, and I guess that's what I'll do, guys, is go through the coffee and stocks sessions that we've had. The stocks that we have on the watch list there, and migrate them into the appropriate group challenge watch list over the weekend. And then that way I'll have some more stuff kind of prepared going into Monday. But I think for the rest of this live stream, I'm basically going to be trying to work with Dylan to get that. You might see me pop up on another live stream, but it's because I'm trying to get this thing set up where we can use Discord as a call and actually discuss this, in voice versus me just talking to you through a microphone. Like it really, I feel like disconnects and discounts what we could be doing. So I'm gonna try to get all this set up. I'm not sure if you guys want to stick around until I get past that or not, but for now I think I'm gonna go ahead and put an end to the session itself. I started early so I could end a little bit early, but now that I figured this out, I'm like, I want to get it working. Also, I'm not sure if anybody's going to watch this to the very end of the video. So with you Justins being here, like if there's anything you want to do to help with Millennial investments in reward for your assistance, I'll give you all out access to the platform and the tools that I have set up. So if you're interested in that in any kind of way, feel free to let me know. And I'd be more than happy to have the help. I mean, it's getting overwhelming to some degree, but you know, I'm pushing through it. I moved to trash. Can we see the spreadsheet before you end? Yeah, I can send the spreadsheet. I can send a screenshot of it. I can send the actual file on YouTube or Discord for that matter. You know what? This is what we're going to do. People that are interested are going to have to join the Discord, right? And that way I can make a channel in the Discord dedicated solely to this. And then I can share all these files and keep it basically basically keep it to us. You know, if they're not interested in helping and they're just, like you said earlier, a lot of people in the Facebook chat really just take out and really don't give back. And that's what the group chats are about, is working as a community together and building. So I think I'm going to focus on doing it that way. Okay. So if you're not already, I see somebody else hopped in here with us. Who we got? If you haven't already, I added the Discord. I can help, but I don't know what I can do for my phone. That's fine, man. Like hopping on the calls with us and discussing trades. That's all. I mean, you're pretty much, it looks like, if you have any trades, like that's all it takes. Half the time it's just some trade suggestions. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you don't have to do anything spectacular. I'll help in any way. My brain and time. That's fine. I mean, that's the good thing about Discord, is that it'll track our conversations a little more, a little better than Facebook does. You can, I mean, I feel like a communication platform is much better on Discord than it is on Facebook. So it'll be a lot easier to, you know, work with. What's up, J-Dub? I just sent, are you on Discord, J-Dub? Yeah, me too, man. I think it's, you know, it's going to be fun. And that's what it's about. It's about learning, and it's about, you know, taking all the stuff that we've been practicing and looking at and putting it all in one thing and just building strategies off of this. You know what I'm saying? So it's a challenge, a personal challenge for each one of us, but also as a group to work together in accomplishing those challenges and winning ultimately. J-Dub, I just going to manage the entire group challenge on there. If you're interested in being a part of it. Never really used Discord. Me neither, until I realized how much it could be utilized in compiling information, providing instant alerts and stuff like that. And like my automation system already works with Discord. And in the investors talk community, I'm already pushing announcements, videos, stock trade alerts, updates, all that. As soon as I push it from my website, it goes there. And right now, as far as my website, it only uses email. So with Discord, it kind of gives you that instant alert that's separated from everything else. Unless you're in like 20, 30 Discord channels or servers, which is, I'm not sure how typical that is. You know what I mean? Just getting the hang of how to use it. Yeah, cool. And I can use my platform to give quick updates on Discord, like instant updates. More detailed information on some of these things. Like there's a lot more I can do with Discord. I just wasn't sure how friendly people were with Discord, or the fact of having an additional app outside of your traditional ones. But the fact that most people have it is going to be something that we can heavily utilize in Millennial investments. So and get quick, instant, segmented communications going, where you know it's easy to keep track of stuff a lot better than what Facebook is currently providing us. I really wanted to use Facebook to bring everybody together, have some quick chats day in and day out, get to know each other and stuff like that in the community, and just kind of be that introduction phase for people that are coming through Facebook to our community, into Millennial Investments itself in one way or another. But I think Discord's going to be like our home moving forward, for people that are truly interested in what we're doing here at Millennial Investments. And I know you guys are some of our best troopers here. Y'all are here every morning with me. We're always looking at trades, talking about trades. Y'all are bringing trades to the table. I'm bringing trades to the table, and that's what it's about. But having a system where we can compare those trades and we all profit from the best trades is what it's about, ultimately. So, but other than that, I'm going to be, like I said, working on this VB audio thing, and see how it works. And once I establish this, then our next session, we can actually have calls with each other. Let's see if it's gonna work like I need it to, though. Yeah, it worked. Okay, cool. So like now you can hop on a call with me in Discord. Send it. Send what? What am I sending? The file? Oh yeah, I'm not forgetting about it. Let me save it. My MI group challenge. I need to save this under the website though. Dabadi dabada dabadi dabada dabadi dabada dabadi dabada dabadi dabada dabadi. Files. Discord. My group challenge. Okay. And I'll upload it to the Discord now. Matter of fact, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna build the entire the whole launching on Discord. I'm pumped. Yeah. And honestly, like Dylan's head first in helping me, so I'm really gonna bring in his expertise. I'm in like 30 servers, and I've been like dissecting how they're setting their stuff up, so I know how I exactly want to do mine. But I like Discord. I've grown on Discord due to the Investors Talk community. I love that community. I suggest everybody get into it just for educational purposes and just being a part of another community, and stuff like that. Just scratch the surface, but these really, man, I was watching that video you shared yesterday, dude, and I was like, bruh, warrants. Yeah, I like warrants now. I really need to dig into it myself. So on my to-do list is set up the Discord a little bit better, specifically for this, and then share the file for you guys so you have the spreadsheet going into next week. I'm going to make sure you get it one way or another, even if I send it over Facebook, so don't worry. And then I need to continue setting up. While I have this live stream going, that's why I'm taking the time to do this, is so that I can keep setting this up so we can have our calls. And it looks like I'm going to have to delete this source and rebuild it, apparently, which is fine. I had the guide over here. So download VB audio, open it up, switch the output on Discord, on Streamlabs. Also, I purchased the Prime for Streamlabs now, so I can stream on Facebook and YouTube simultaneously, which I think is going to be a new thing, and capturing new members, because anytime I share on Facebook or do an announcement, it already shares to all the groups that I manage, and we're actually about to get a bunch of more groups handed over to us by Andre Natashi. So we should see our member count really start jumping. We hit 263 subscribers last I checked on YouTube, so I appreciate you guys and anybody that's been, supporting the channel by sharing it and stuff like that. I really appreciate that, man. Like, that means a lot. Really pushes me to keep pushing in what I'm doing. And there's been days when I'm like, man, I'm walking away, All right, so we got our audio for Discord set up now. We should be good to go when we do our calls. So now we can do our calls live on our live stream. Really like that idea. So we're set up there, and good to go. I'm going to make sure there's nothing else that I get mixed up. So remove the alert box. I could have kept the alert box on there. But anyways, now I'm just harping. Tons of opportunity. You can play options while waiting for that exercise window for the warrants. BNGO has them, BLNKA. And ever since we have started talking about warrants, I started thinking back about how much I've seen them, and I've just looked over them like I don't know what that is. You know what I mean? And typically in the markets, like if I don't know what it is, I'm not comfortable with talking and looking at it. You know what I'm saying? What is that, Andre right there, bro? Is that Andre right there, man? What's up, Andre? Um, I just set up my live stream where I don't know if you heard me, Andre, but I just set up the live stream where we can now do calls at least on Discord, um, and basically you can hop on there with us, bro. We can do video calls. I'm pretty sure. Just hold, what we were talking about. Between me, you, and Sean, where we can bring in more traders, experienced traders and one thing that I was looking at that'll be cool in our coffee and stock sessions to help it graduate a little bit. Really, yeah, I think so, Justin. I appreciate that, man. But one thing to add to coffee and stocks is not only just me sitting here, but bringing in some other traders that might have some free time in the morning pre-market to just look at trades that they're sharing or that they're going over and looking at going into today, so that you're finding more value in what our coffee and stock sessions is truly about. It's about us coming together as a group, not just focus on what I'm doing or, just specifically what I have to tell you, but bringing more experience into the table and basically having like a round table virtually where there's positions coming in. And then, if one of the traders, there's four, say for instance, there's 4 traders, one of the traders suggests a trade, then we all can review it and how we would play it individually and things like that. Or if there's a member investor on this live feed and they want to review, then you can get it from 4 different point of views versus just one. You know what I'm saying? And things can be added in that they might know about that I don't, as far as DD on certain stocks or, why they feel certain ways and stuff like that. So that's ultimately what I'm wanting to build on coffee and stocks moving forward is a round table. It's just finding the people that's willing to do it. I mean, it doesn't have to be an everyday thing, but, hopping in and out would be great. And just finding different strategies out of the moves. Of course, we've been just really practicing, I'm not going to say on the fundamentals of the stocks, but the fundamentals of trading and investing and catching entries and exits. And now we're moving into options. We're doing our options live as a live tutorial, so you can see it in real time on our entries. And then I update you guys on Facebook on our exits. And what I'm looking at. What I haven't been able to really do is in the afternoons is go through the actual trade, where, there was points I was going to sell, but why I didn't. Just confirmations that I was looking at that it would keep going in the direction that I want or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So I really want to start trying to figure out a time in my day where I can sit down with you guys and do that. Maybe even if it's like 30 minutes in the afternoon, because I'm not searching for the trades and then actually actively trading them. I'm just summing up the day. So it can either be like a review video I'll probably do at the end. But ultimately, like, I just want to provide as much information as I can for you guys to learn. Because like I said, I want the entire group to be 100 traders in there that are actively trading and winning every day consistently, and not just, doing these social movement type trades where you're able to capture 100% on something, like consistently making positive trades every day. And we're going to take losses in that process, but as long as it's a consistency to it, we all can prosper as individuals while working as a community to support each other and finding these opportunities. And that's the thing about it. A lot of people just don't have the information in front of them. That's why I started Millennial Investments. And when I started working with Andre specifically, we wanted to bring that community into it where we could basically work together as a community to contribute to the success of everybody within it, not just for the benefit of one person. And that's ultimately why we have a free membership. And I promote that more than anything is our free memberships, because it's just about being a part of the community. And so like now with us going towards Discord, that community is just going to become that much stronger because we can dissect our information, separate our conversations, share files and stuff like that, hold voice calls so you all can pitch in with your own or just sit in and actually listen. and still be watching the video so you can visually see it, which is really going to make a difference. So like I'm only going to do voice calls on Discord, but I'm going to do my live stream still, because ultimately the goal on YouTube is to monetize the YouTube channel, so I don't have to charge anything on the websites at all, for any of the information. Of course, it still takes up a lot of my time. I own another business, so that's the trade-off that I'm required to make in the platform, just to give that explanation of why we even have a premium account, because it's not free for me to share it to you. It takes time, it takes money to pay for the platform, and all that good stuff. So anyways, I've talked to most of you all about that. I'm not going to harp on it too much, but that's the ultimate goal, and I encourage everybody to receive that ultimate unlimited access, if you just simply contribute it in some form or fashion. You know what I'm saying? Sharing the platform, making sure the information shared, that we're sharing out of the platform, or there's a lot of different things. Helping with the DD database. There's ways that I'm establishing now that's going to simplify the DD that we conduct here at Millennial Investments. That's really going to ramp up the DD database. And I kind of pulled back from when I built it, and I was looking at it like, what's the best way of going after it, and I figured it out. And so I could use some help with getting DD collected for the rest of our members, especially on the stocks that you're excited about, that you can collect it for your own, track and log it and look back on it and add to it while you're actively looking at it, but also share that information as soon as you do add it to the database. And that's what it's about. Having the platform, not some website, but the platform to get the information out to the people in real time as much as possible. So if you guys are willing to help, feel free to reach out to me. You're already on the Facebook. I'm going to be sharing the Discord server on the chat for everybody else to jump in that is comfortable with Discord and willing to do that. But I still, my partner network is still Investors Talk. They already have their educational tools built out there. I highly suggest you go check them out, man. They have a lot of experience in that group that's already built, and that's why I partnered with them and why I never really focused on my own Discord channel. But I am starting to realize that in order for me to continue delivering my own information properly, that I can't piggyback off of something else. I have to build my own. So in correlation, I will be supporting both of those groups moving forward. I want to make sure that's clear. But it's easy for me to run both of them and hop between both of them. Like, it's never been a problem. So I don't expect it to cause any issues. I hope it doesn't cause any issues for anybody. But that's just how I feel about things, man. And that's why I'm a part of Investors Talk too, is because of the fact that they actually they care about their people in it. So, but for now, guys, I guess we can finish the chat on the Facebook group moving forward while I'm building out the Discord. I still have the spreadsheet to share with you guys. If I find any more opportunities, I'll just keep sharing this spreadsheet. And what I'll do is ultimately I'll build out a dashboard on the website in this form factor for you, so you can kind of see this real time as I'm adding them. It'll make it a lot easier for me to do so. But other than that, man, I appreciate you guys spending this morning with me. A little bit over the time I expected to spend on it, not 20 minutes or so, but I'm glad we took time to go ahead and get everything set up moving forward with the group challenge, and establishing the fact that we're going to be using Discord a little bit more for sharing information. I think it's going to be a little bit less exhausting on my part to do so, and the fact that you guys are willing to contribute to what we're doing too is ultimately something I appreciate. So like I said, if you got any questions, feel free to hit me up. I'm going to get this file over to you, and I know we use Saturday to do a recap and then looking into next week, but I think we've done pretty well in at least focusing on our options. This is the next stage of our options moving into next week. These are some that I want to play. You'll have the spreadsheet, and I'll let you ultimately know the ones that I'm going after. Specifically, that XPEV and the GE calls is really grabbing my attention, which the whole $200 thing I might put towards these option calls just because they're as valuable as they are. And honestly, I'm going to be one to use options to build the account off top. So, turning that $200 into $400-$500 by the end of the week, that allows for us to put $100 towards stocks at the next week while still using that additional $500 to continue to churn and grind. I guess End of year? See where we're at end of year? I mean, I don't know. That's something for us to discuss. This was the idea I just came up with yesterday. You know what I mean? Talking to one of our other members individually, and he was talking about some of the challenges he was facing or things that he wanted to accomplish short term. And I was like, well, we could work together and follow in these trades together. And then I was like, well, we could actually do that with the group. So before I even responded to him, I was like, I want to see what the group thinks about it, and that's where this whole group small account challenge came from. And I've seen account challenges on other YouTube videos, but it's mainly just that YouTuber doing it. It's not truly a contribution to the group that is following him. And I'm not here to be some YouTube influencer. I'm only here to visually show you what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So that's my whole. I've never been on YouTube before. I had to build a comfort level before I even started doing live sessions. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, we can definitely set a date. I guess we can start it off small with like a month, see how we end in 4 weeks or something like that. Or, 4 weeks out, maybe the end of April, see where we stop at the end of April, or March even, because it's the first quarter. I don't know. And then do another challenge for the rest of the year, or we can ride it out for the whole year. Just some ideas off the top of my head, but I just wanted to share that with you guys. But yeah, man, I got to go ahead and hop off of here, though, to go take care of some other stuff. My time's bleeding over. But I appreciate you all, man. I love you all. Thank you all for the support, bro. Should do quarterly? Okay. Well, we can build the initial off quarterly. I like quarterly. And the more and more I thought about it, it's just sitting here, it just sounds better. If y'all agree with that, we can do it quarterly. Just see how we're performing quarter to quarter, because the markets shift quarter to quarter as well. So we're going to have to do different strategies going through that process as well. So I agree with that, J-Dub, completely. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and hop off here, man. Thank you all for being here this morning. Thank you for taking time out of your Saturday, your weekend, to look at some of these opportunities. Help me get some ideas on setting this up, finding some of these opportunities that we're looking at going into this week. And I will be catching up with you guys on Facebook chat until I get the Discord built, like I said. If you got any questions, feel free to reach out to me at any time, whether it's in the group or individually. It doesn't matter, man. I'm here. This is what I'm here for. So otherwise, have a great weekend, man. Stay blessed. Enjoy your time with your families. Give your brain a break. I actually find stuff like this relaxing, where I'm researching my next week, so I'm not so stressed out going into the weeks. But, for the rest of the weekend, enjoy it. I'm actually going to be working on some things. That's how I relax on the weekend. But I'll be talking to you guys at least Monday, if not through the chat. All right, man. Y'all have a blessing.